Hey, you guys, it's your girl Aquila coming straight at you from Diva-Villege. Mama, my thoughts. Today's topic is, let me show you, breaking the cycle. Before I start my show, usually I have someone that I'm sponsoring. Tonight I don't have a sponsor, but I want to give a shout out to my brother, James Lee Isom. For those of you that may know him, he's in the hospital. He had a stroke and everything. You guys send prayers and everything to him. Okay, so the title of my show again tonight is Breaking the Cycle. And in talking about breaking the cycle, I want to go a little slower tonight. In going slow, I want to talk about things that go on in life that it becomes a cycle, and we need to learn how to maneuver ourselves around it so that we can start something new. Let's start with this: seeking approval. A lot of people feel that in life they have to have everyone else's approval. They don't feel that going out on their own, they are comfortable unless somebody tells you, good job. I like what you're doing. I like what you're wearing. I like exactly what you're doing. The thing about that is you don't always need somebody's approval. When you put yourself in a situation where you always need someone else's approval, what happens is you lose yourself, because without someone else's thoughts or ideas of how you should be or how you should present yourself, you don't exist. So you don't need somebody else's approval. You need to break the chains from that. Free yourself from that. If it's something that you want to do in life, you do it. Be it right or be it wrong, you go ahead and do it. The reason I say this is because if you fail or if you succeed, the only person that you can blame is yourself. You don't need approval for anything that it is that you want to do. Just go out and just do it. The next thing when I say breaking the cycle, and this isn't against anybody. This is just like I say, my mind, my thought. But I'm saying breaking the cycle on this. They've given us welfare and taken away the whole entity of family. Now, there's nothing wrong with welfare. If people need it, there's nothing wrong with it. But they have it set up now, whereas I give you welfare, but if you have welfare, you can't have a man in your home. You can't be a family. That's not right. Hey, Maggie, how are you? That's not right. So you want welfare, and then you have a mother, father, and a child. That's what makes up a family. But at the end, they want to erase the father from the life. Now you only have a mother and child. So you grow up with this, right? And you don't see a father in your household. So when you grow up, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna do the same thing. But you can break that cycle. Hey Joe, what's up, family? How you doing? Exactly, family first. You want to break that cycle because you do want to have a complete family. You do want to have a father and a mother in the house for the child. In some situations, it doesn't happen that way, but for most things, you don't want anybody telling you, if you're going to have this man in the house with you, then I'm not going to pay your rent. I'm not going to give you money for grocery. I'm not going to, no. A perfect example of this is during this whole thing when the government was shut down. And again, this is not to offend anybody. It's what I always say. My mind, my thought is just what I think. So my thing is this right here. When the government was shut down, they were saying, we're going to give out these SNAP or benefits. We're going to give them to you early, right? We're going to give them to you, I think they said like early February or something like that, or early March, whatever. Anyway, they were saying, I'm going to give them to you now. And then after this time, I don't know when you're going to get them again. Medicaid, the same situation. Now, you think about this right here. You think about this whole situation. Now, you put your, hey, Deirdre, I'm glad you like the shirt, honey. You think about it. So now, and again, I'm not knocking people that's on public assistance. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to say, break the cycle. What up, Lee? How you doing? So now, because you put your how you say, you put your whole everything in the hands of the government. So the government now is saying to you, okay, I'm the one that feeds you. I'm the one that clothes you. I'm the one that's doing all these different things for you. This is what the government is saying. So they're saying the country is shut down. We're not doing anything because I need money to build a wall. So until we can build this wall, we're not going to do anything. Okay. The reason why I'm saying break that cycle, because there were city workers that were involved, and I felt bad for them, but there were city workers that were involved. And with these city workers that were involved, a lot of them had to like pretty much use up their complete savings and pretty much start all over. But when I say those people who weren't working and they were relying on the public assistance, you see what the government did, right? Hey, Kelly, how are you? Oh, you like my accent. Thank you. So they were relying on the government. So the government is telling you, okay, I'm going to give you this now, but I don't know when I'm going to do this for you again. The reason why I'm saying break the cycle, don't give anybody that much power or that much control over you that they can tell you you can eat or you can pay your rent. No. You have to break that cycle. And it's bad because, like I said, there are some people who really need it, but then there are those people who don't need it, okay? Break the cycle. This is not something that you want to go through your life doing, dependent upon someone else to take care of you. They have a saying, teach a man how to fish and you can eat for days. You know what I'm saying? You give him a fish. After that fish is gone, if he's still hungry because you gave it to him, he's not going to know what to do with it. Why? Because he doesn't know how to go out and do for himself. You have to break that cycle. There's always going to be somebody there telling you that you can't do something, but you have to break that cycle and show people that you can do it. Because if you don't, it would always be passed down from generation to generation, showing the same thing that's going on. Maggie says, hold on, let me show you what Maggie says. She says, if you rely on the government, they can control you 100%. And the thing about that, and I know this is probably going to go like way out there, but people talk about slavery and how they don't want to go back into slavery and things like that. But when you give people that much control over you, when you eat, how you pay your bills, how you shop, you put yourself in a modern style of slavery. So you take out, you get out of one type of slavery and you turn around and you go into another slavery. So Maggie, you are 100% because you give people control. And me, myself, I never want to give anybody that much control over me. Another way that they control us because we don't know any better is they teach us how to be workers and not to own our own business. Okay. Now, again, this is just my thought, so this is not to offend anybody, not at all. Okay, so as our parents grew up, they were always taught how to go out and work. You have to work, pay your bills, take care of your family. That's it. So as we come up behind them, we do that exact same thing. We work. In school, they teach you how to be workers, but they don't teach you how to own your own business. Okay, so everybody, and I know I'm going back to this one again, but everybody always talk about this thing, slavery. But when you talk about slavery, you got to know the different aspects of what you're saying. So if you're not able to take care of yourself or you're not financially stable, you're still working for somebody. So in some form, you're still within that modern day slavery. So in school, they teach you how to work. They may ask you, hey, Norman, how are you? Norman said he's not controlled because he's retired. You're 100% right, Norman. You're not controlled 100%. But even when you retire, they still sending you your Social Security. They're still sending you your pension. So if the government is shut down again, all of those things are put on hold until they stop playing games and getting themselves together. So now talking about being a worker, Norman, not to offend you, because you know I love you, not to offend you. So now what I'm saying now, so when you go to school, right, they teach you how to work. So if you say in school, I want to be a doctor. Oh, no, you can't be a doctor. Maybe you could be something else, but not a doctor. Why can't you be a doctor if you want to be a doctor? If you want to be an entertainer, if this is what you truly want to be, why can't you be an entertainer? Maggie says we need to do a show one day on care for. I am gonna do that, and I want to do that, Maggie, before my season ends. I want to do this right here about daycares and stuff like that. I definitely want to do that. So you want to be an entertainer, you want to be whatever. People are constantly telling you that you can't do this because this is not what you were taught in school. So in school, they give you basics of what you want to do. So if you want to start a business, they give you basics. Like, just when I say basic, I mean like the bare minimum of what you need to start a business. But do they tell you that once you get into that business, you have to like either incorporate it, you have to make it an LLC, you have to make it a partnership, you have to make that business something? Do they also tell you that once you get this business, you also have to get insurance and everything for this business? Do they tell you that if you have employees for your business, you have to get insurance for the employees? If you have a building, you have to get insurance for that building also. They don't tell you all these different things. They don't tell you that there's different government regulations and stuff that you have to go through. But they tell you, okay, so you want to grow up and you want to start your own business. But they only give you just the basic. So when I'm saying break that cycle, what you basically have to do is go out on your own to find out exactly what it is that you have to do to start your own business. And I'll tell you, it's not easy and it's not hard. It's just more about dedication. The society has us now so that we depend upon people so much that a lot of people are afraid to go out and do for themselves. And they're afraid to go out and do for themselves because they feel that if they do, they're going to fail. If you fail, so what? But the thing is, if you never fail, how do you know when you're doing something right? So this is why I'm saying you have to break the cycle. I'm not saying tomorrow you go and you quit your job. No, don't do that because you're not ready. I'm not even ready. But I'm just saying you can do it. You can break that cycle and you don't have to be. Norman said, take business 101. You're right, Norman. There are classes and stuff that you can take. There are so many YouTubes that if you want to do stuff, you can go to YouTube and they'll tell you different things that you need to do. But when you go to school, they're just going to give you just the basics. You don't have to grow up and be a worker. Just because it's been passed down from generation to generation doesn't mean that you have to continue on with that same thing. You can break that cycle. You can start your own business. You can have it that your kids that are coming up behind you, they continue on with that business and they start their own business. You can have your own franchise and anything, but you have to be willing to step outside the circle. Another thing when I say, I'm bringing my notes up, you guys. Another thing when I'm saying break the cycle, this is one. When you go to school, they don't teach you about the value of money. They don't tell you how to invest money. They don't tell you how to save money. So we as people, as humans, the more money we get, the more money we spend. But they don't tell you in order to make money, you have to give money. So what you have to do in these different cases, if you want to start your own business, you have to invest. You have to put money into your investment to do whatever it is that you want to do. Prime example, myself. When I wanted to do Diva-Villege, I had to invest. I had to put up money myself. After I put money up myself for t-shirts, for bags, for bottles, I put them up for sale. I have people that have actually gone out and purchased my stuff. They've gone to Bandcamp, DeMarca at bandcamp.com, and they've actually purchased these items from me. But no one in school told me how to do this or told me what I wanted to do. They don't tell you that if you want to have your own business, you have to market it. You have to put it out there. You have to let people know that you have a product. Yesterday, I was walking up 7th Avenue in New York, and my daughter said to me, she said, Mommy, let's go to this beauty supply store. She said, it's a black-owned beauty supply store. So I'm like, I never seen that beauty supply store. And I said, and I'm over there all the time. So when I went inside, I said to the lady, how long has this business been here? She said to me, it's been here like 4 or 5 years. She said, but a lot of people don't know about it. If a lot of people don't know about it, you don't have a business. So again, this is what I'm saying. You have to break that cycle. You have to break that circle. You have to invest in yourself to find out what's going on. because a lot of people are not going to tell you stuff. So you have to take it upon yourself. Back in the days, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have Google. We didn't have the internet like we do today. Anything that you want to find is right there. Anything that you want to do. Hold on, you guys. Deirdre says that Beatrice brings her back to Bible study. All right, I'm going to go back to what I was saying, but let me tell you about Beatrice. I met Beatrice through Deirdre. I met Deirdre. We went to school together. Beatrice has ordered bags. I mean, I think she must have a bag pretty much in every color. She's ordered bottles. She's ordered everything that I have. But the thing is, if I didn't put it out there or if Deirdre didn't tell her about it, how would she know about it? Did I learn this in school? No. Marketing is something that you have to do. If you want people to know about you and your business, you have to do marketing. You have to break that cycle and come out of it. Another thing, right? Save and investment. People think the minute you get money, you got to spend it. No, you don't always have to spend. You have to learn the difference between what I need and what I want. Because if you take care of what you need now, maybe later on you can get what you want. But if you don't know the value of money and knowing that you have to put this to the side for that, you will never be able to get ahead. You will never be able to break that cycle. And when I say break that cycle, if you want to be able to live without living from paycheck to paycheck, you have to break that cycle. You have to learn the value of money. You have to learn that you can invest, you can save. You have to learn exactly what you have to do with the money without always, every time you see something, you have to just run out and spend money. Just because your friend is buying Michael Kors and you can't afford it, you don't have to buy it. Because your friend is buying Jordans and you can't afford it, you don't have to buy it. Thank you, Norman. Thank you. And everybody feels that just because somebody else has it, I must get this too. No, it's called knowing the value of money. They have this saying, everybody trying to keep up with the Joneses. But what they don't know is the Joneses is broke too, because they doing the exact same thing that you're doing, trying to keep up with somebody else. Break that cycle. Make yourself realize and have your kids that's growing up, let them know that everything that somebody else has, they don't have to have it. Let them know the power of money. Let them know what investment is all about. Let them know that they can take their money, put it in a bank, and let the money grow for them. They can do savings accounts. They can do CD accounts. As they get older, they are able to do investments. And the good thing about them doing CD accounts is that once they put their money into CDs, depending upon the term of the CDs, they can't touch it anyway. So that money is locked up for a period of time. Teach them the value of money. To teach them that every time you get money in your hand, you do not have to spend it. You can save your money for something else. A problem too that we have is entitlement. Break that circle, sweetheart, because you are not entitled to anything. You are entitled to whatever you work for, you're entitled. If someone decides to give you something, you're entitled. But there are so many people that feel that somebody owes them something. No. You have to get away from that also. No one owes you nothing. I always have this motto, and I always say that if you don't expect anything, you can't be disappointed. I never think that nobody owed me anything. I always feel that if somebody gives me something, it's a plus, it's a blessing, it's something that they want to do, but do they owe this to me? No, I'm not entitled to anything. Only thing that I'm entitled to is what I put myself out there for and what I get. People are always looking to fit in. You don't have to fit in. You're not a twin. Come out of that cycle. Everybody feels that whatever everybody else is doing, whatever everybody else is wearing, whatever, I have to be just like this person. I have to be with the cool kids. Well, what makes them the cool kids? Who says that these are the cool kids just because they're doing these different things? You know, they need to come out of that cycle too, because everybody feels they need to fit in with this person to give them some sort of a prestige or make them feel important or make them feel a part of things. You don't have to do it. Come out of it. Only thing you have to do is just be yourself. Someone once told me, because we were having this conversation, and somebody said to me that you were born as an individual. Some people are born as twins and triplets, but for the most part, You were born as individuals. You were not born to blend in, to be like someone else. So you put it like, if we were all the same person, so you're trying to fit in to be like this next person. So if we were all the same person, think about how boring this world would be. Everybody doing the same thing. Everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody's wearing the same thing. It would be a boring world that we live in. So you have to come out of that. Just live for yourself. Just be happy for who you are. And take yourself a step higher. Elevate yourself. People having low self-esteem. People have low self-esteem because they feel that they don't fit in with the next person. They feel because, okay, I can't afford all these other clothes and things like everybody else, so I'm not as good as that person. You don't have to be like that person. Again, you be the best person that you can be, regardless of what you have, who you are. You be the best of who you can be. People have no self-love. And the reason why they have no self-love is because they're trying so hard to get other people to love them that they can't even love themselves. So what another person thinks about you is more important than what you think about yourself. That's a sad case. Very, very sad. And the reason why I say that it's a sad case, because how can you love someone else or expect someone else to love you and you can't even love yourself? Think about it. I mean, it sounds weird, but you think about it. If you can't love yourself, how do you know when someone else is loving you? So you have to break that cycle. Whatever everybody else is doing, wherever they're trying to fit in, you don't have to be in that spot. You can move on and you can go someplace else. Let me see what else I have here. It's the same thing that I was saying. People wanting to assimilate, to be like someone else. You see people now, they're having these surgeries. They're getting their butts bigger. They're getting their breasts bigger. They're taking ribs and stuff out just so they can look and be like someone else. So you want to assimilate and be like somebody else. Okay. So once this assimilation is complete, are you happy? No. I mean, you may say you're happy. You may say you look good, but are you truly happy at the person that you are now? I know that I wouldn't be happy. And the reason that I wouldn't be happy is because I wouldn't know who I was. That's what I'm saying. You got